In this video, we're going to look at the top-rated mindset books for women with a scary ex. They're a great way to get started if you know that you want to move forward and feel better after a damaging romantic relationship, but maybe you're not sure how. It will help you heal, build your confidence, and build your strength. So if you're like me and you prefer audiobooks to sitting down and reading a book, this might be the video for you. These 6 audiobooks have transformed countless lives. Yours might be next. Book number 1 is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel, something I'm not going to try to butcher for you. This book is highly acclaimed. It is highly reviewed, and I have seen and heard of lots of people love this book. It is about the physical and emotional effects of trauma, and then it gives survivors methods to be able to work on healing. I want to put just a little caveat in there. When I tried to listen to this book several years ago, I couldn't do it. I found it triggering, and I just didn't want to. I wasn't ready to go there yet, but lots and lots of people have found this book helpful. It shares stories and research and therapeutic methods like EMDR and yoga and mindfulness, different things for survivors to be able to use to help heal trauma. And while I may not have finished this book at that time, and I do want to retry because I have heard so many people love this book, but I had done EMDR and mindfulness, a couple of other things. So I don't disagree with them. It just, when I tried to read this before, it was at a point I wasn't ready for. We'll keep that in mind. Number 2 is Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. I've talked about this book before. It was an important book in my journey, and it is important, I think, for lots of survivors and current victims of domestic violence or different types of abuse, because the big thing that seems to be like a consistent factor for victims of abuse is a lack of boundaries. Most of the time, we don't know that we don't have them. We don't know that we should have them because we don't have any kind of healthy standard of what we should actually expect for ourselves. And this book addresses that. Book number 3 is called Healing the Wounded Heart by Dr. Dan B. Allender. This is a faith-based book designed for survivors of sexual abuse. It offers hope and healing through a better understanding of God's love and grace. While it is applicable to victims of sexual abuse, it would be applicable, I would think, to any victim of abuse. Dr. Allender provides insights about how abuse affects identity, which is huge, and relationships, while offering steps to move towards healing and restoration, helping survivors reconnect with their faith and find peace. Book number 4 is called Safe People, also by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. I'm really excited about this book. I haven't read this book, but I want to, because I think abuse survivors have a really difficult time being able to identify and discern who is a safe person and who is not. Because if you have been abused for very long, you know that people who should have been safe people in your life oftentimes were not. And people who seemed like safe people at first oftentimes were not. And so then you question your judgment entirely. Nobody can be safe, right? Like, that's the belief. And so I think this book is super important. While it helps offer guidance on how to discern who is a safe person and who is not a safe person, this book provides sort of a roadmap for how to trust other people, how to find people and bring them into your world that are worthy of your trust. Book number 5 is called Uninvited by Lysa TerKeurst. This book tackles feelings of rejection and loneliness, and it encourages people to embrace their self-worth through God's unconditional love. In it, Lysa shares personal stories as well as biblical wisdom to help women process rejection and rebuild their confidence. So many survivors wrestle with feelings of abandonment and rejection. This book offers emotional healing and spiritual encouragement to that end. Book number 6 is The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker. I love this book. I included it in here because when you have come out of an abusive relationship of any kind, whether it's a romantic or otherwise, you are more susceptible statistically to be abused again. It's like we walk around with this wound, and predators see that. They are very good at identifying that. They will hone in on that and they will take advantage of it. So while the other books are there to help build you up, this one is intended to be sort of a continued protection for you. If you haven't already read this book, it will help you to be able to identify future threats, which is as important as healing from the previous ones. Do you have a favorite book or audiobook that has helped you in your healing journey? I would love to hear about it in the comments below. If you think that any of these resources would be helpful for you, you can access them using the links in the description below. In the next video, we're going to talk about home security, home defense for women with a scary ex. We're going to talk about the tools that would be involved. Go get yourself some of these audiobooks, and then I will see you in the next video where we're talking about how to protect your home. You don't want to miss it. Until I see you again, please stay safe.